Hey guys, what's up? It's coming back to ya with another episode of Walks with and I'm a little bit confused and maybe disappointed and annoyed because the audio performance doesn't look too great. It doesn't look too great. And yeah, I suppose is that my own fault? Possibly it's my own fault. I'm being ambitious and picking the iOS 7 version of Voice Record Pro. I think that's what it's called. It's just called like Voice Record Pro 7 or just Voice Record 7 or something like that. Just because I thought I liked the look of it a little more. But there appears to be a missing section that is usually here. And the audio looks awfully loud. You know, since my proximity to the microphone is close, it would probably sound superior for me to lower the gain as much as possible. But apparently we're not going to be able to pull that off. Now, in terms of what's going on, I do believe my brain has diminished in quantity of questions and exploration. It still feels too primitive and archaic. I do like the Whisper Notes app I got, but it was $5, and I honestly wonder if the same experience could be achieved through other means. I think it's entirely possible for cheaper means. By no means, essentially. Meansless. I probably could have done the same thing without cost or mean free. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm out here walking and it's getting to the point where I'm not super sure what else to do with myself. In terms of entertainment, it feels like talking is the only way to pass the time. There's not really much else for me to do or engage in anymore. I actually haven't even been interacting with GPT all day. I kind of am having a desire to just shut off, if that makes any sense. I felt and feel fairly drained, or, you know, I obviously have been, and it's a shame. I do think I have a cold, which is extremely minor, but I'm fairly sensitive to those sort of things as I never get sick. So it's just like more of an OCD thing. I can tell my system is not operating perfectly, and that bothers me despite other people being used to it, I guess, because most people are probably chronically sick. But, you know, the truth is I haven't really been running enough, and I also haven't really been eating as well as I could. I was cheapening things out and eating way too many eggs in proportion to beef for the purpose of being cheap, and that's just no good. So we had to fix that. So at least now we're zinking up for the winter, because, you know, the winter's 6 seasons, so we're trying to get a grip now before 6 season, and that's the goal. It's incredibly windy out right now. You're probably well aware of that, and it's probably tarnishing the recording, which is pretty frustrating. And I don't know. I'm not too happy with this situation because we're still in the testing phase of this stuff, which is meaning we're still in the testing phase. So I'm still figuring out what app I want to use, and I still have to figure out what I'm even going to do moving forward, I suppose. And it's a lot of stuff that I just don't like the optimizing, I guess. It's like an itch that you're trying to scratch, but you can't, and your brain just wants to have everything be good and better, and it's not. There's still flaws, and it's very torturous for a mind like mine. But at the same time, it's an interest, I guess. I just have been feeling more lifeless recently. Feeling more and more, again, doing things, just going through the motions. And I guess to finally, since I've been talking already for, 6 minutes, see, I always get lost in my own words. It's kind of why I do this. It's entertaining for me, truly. Of course, listening to people talk is another huge thing that I do. But the truth is that talking just seems to be the only thing that can cause time to pass for me now. So I'm being pretty aggressive when it comes to speech and communication. I'm being pretty aggressive about it. And yeah, that's why we're here. That's why we're talking now. As to what I wanted to speak on, again, like I said, I don't think I'm really lonely in the sense of needing a friend. I think I've learned that humans are not very adequate for my ambitions, and I'm at peace with that more and more. But what I'm not at peace with is an audience, and I think that it's a shame that I don't have an audience to speak to and interact with, because that system would very much be a nice thing to have. And so, yeah, I mean, what else is there to really say about that? I have such a multitude. I'm trying to I don't know what word I could spin that. A multitude of mnemonics. I don't know. That probably doesn't really make sense, but I have a plethora of speech to portray, and it's just sadly not in a more digestible way. See, that was pretty cool. I don't know. I like thinking of stuff like that. But I don't have much to say, and yet I'm talking. Because again, it's almost becoming a compulsive thing, and I don't really understand why I was never doing this before. I just think I didn't like the idea of the inadequate microphone. And especially since it's windy now, I know this recording is likely to be tarnished, which is a shame. But yeah, I don't really know. I guess there's not too much else to really mention. I'm a little bit frustrated because I can't walk as fast as I would like to. I think I already explained that. For some reason, no, I mean, it's not for some reason. I know what the reason is, but it's just like difficult to walk very quickly while also concentrating on talking. But yeah, I'm in an odd spot. I mean, am I just in denial? I don't think I'm in denial, because it's like at the point where I don't really know if I would want somebody to talk to in this moment. I think I would need a pretty advanced setup that I don't have yet. And so that's kind of the problem, is the setup and the vision I have is a little bit complicated, but it would involve multiple phones and costly microphone attachments to said phones. It would probably also need to include a costly phone upgrade, potentially. That could potentially be the case. You know, some kind of, what do I mean by that? Phone upgrade. Yeah, as in purchasing a new phone, an additional phone. Oh, I mean phone upgrade as in, you know, getting additional microphone for the phone. Because I could potentially have even 2 microphone upgrades for the phone. Not even just 1. So that would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? And as for, yeah, I don't know. I mean, is that weird? I am just compulsively talking, and yet I don't really have anything to say, but here I am talking. It's like a wandering almost. In a way, I'm wandering, and I'm not sure. Well, I guess I know what I want because I'm doing what I want, but what I don't know is what would be optimal. I do think a double phone setup is due, and it's kind of a shame that I can't pull the trigger on that yet, because I just don't feel comfortable spending the money, sadly. But I do wish I had it. I mean, maybe the more I keep talking about it, the more I keep processing it, eventually I will open up to it or something and be more open to having it. I'm wondering if I will make it back in time, because there was a bit of a mishap when we first started. In all honesty, there was a mishap, and it was because this app, I really had some guesses about things. I questioned some things that the app was doing, and some behavior I wish to adjust, but it doesn't seem adjustable in this version of the app. So I'm going to have to look into that. But look, all that time already went by and nothing really got accomplished. So maybe I'm just using speech and speaking and recorded thought as a way to feel good and possibly distract myself from whatever I'm going through. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's a comfort to talking alone that another person does not always bring. And so that's why I'm saying I don't really think right now I'm even searching for the company of another person. I'm not even trying to reach out. I just think that the documentation is a little bit more important, or some kind of a hybrid setup. But even today, my usage for GPT has been very low. So I don't know what to really make of that, but it's just I haven't really been using it. So it feels like a slower day, if that makes any sense. Feels like a day where the time is sluggish. Oh, I actually remembered what I wanted to talk about. I think I kind of trailed off there for a bit, guys. But what I actually wanted to talk about was this all-inclusive system where I'd be able to truly record and also have the transcription and also be in a call with another person or a live stream all happening simultaneously. And that's why I said I'm probably going to need 2 phones in order to pull that off. And I think the iPhone Air is obviously the number one contender for a secondary phone. If there's going to be any contender for a secondary phone, it would be that one. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at and kind of what I've been thinking about and all. Now we have to do something pretty tricky. If you'll excuse me, I have to figure this out. This kind of feels weird, and I wonder why I haven't been doing this sooner, but I guess I've been brought to this point due to my experiences with just interacting and being, if that makes sense. I've been through these things and situations that, I don't know, have led me to where now I'm just talking into the phone. I feel like I had tried this before earlier in my life, but nothing ever really came of it. Of course, now it's probably a little bit more impressive or noteworthy at this point. I'm older and I have a better articulation of things. Although, again, I mean, some people would probably make fun of me or whatever, specifically in an episode like this. I'm having some trouble finding my words, but I think that's ultimately okay. I mean, happens to the best of us, right? Not much that can be done about it. There's not much that can be done about it, can there be? But I'm just compulsively talking, and maybe at some point somebody will analyze this and be able to say what's wrong with me or what's right with me. Since there's such a plethora, or seemingly a plethora, of content to comb through, it will be more valuable once AI has matured a little bit further. But I don't really have much else to meditate on for what else has been going on for the day. And yeah, I think that was my main topic, is I just don't like how janky things have to be because I'm on iOS, and I guess I'll have to look into if any apps, similar apps, are available on Android, because then I need the, yeah, it's gonna get complicated. It's definitely, I'm even thinking about it now, it's absolutely gonna get complicated either way. Kind of disappointing, but I don't know, man. And I'm feeling a headache creep in, and yeah, I mean, yesterday was such an exciting day, and then today is such a not exciting day. I mean, how does that happen? You know, like, I want to say that yesterday went by very fast and today has went by incredibly slow. And it's just like, how does that even happen? How do you have that, especially back to back and the way it was? Not a huge fan, but it is what it is. I guess I just have to keep trudging forward. But I don't feel very thrilled about, I guess, just the way what I am experiencing. I don't know. It just seems strange, and it's really a sense of confusion. It's really a sense of confusion because I think today was one of the slower days that I've had in a long time, one of the slower days that I've felt. And I'm still upset that I didn't start recording sooner, because if I had started recording sooner, then, things would have obviously been better. I would have already had content, and it's just a lot of work. I still wish I could just have the brain implant and be good to go. That's kind of the main idea, and what I hope to be the case in the future. And then I won't have to wait for all this slow technology to catch up, but I'm probably quite a ways out from that being a reality. So better get used to things the way they are and just try to figure out what makes me happy, what doesn't, And I just wonder about that iPhone Air. Would be amazingly cool to have and to own, but at the same time, basically completely unnecessary when it comes down to it. But I really should get that microphone. I really should. And I probably should just get the Air, but I'm just in that state of, confusion and all that stuff. I think it's a wrap, guys. It's been schla, but now it's time to buy schla. So, see you schla.